What's up? How you doing? Here I am with my daughter Isabella, and we're gonna cook some steaks today. Ribeye. These are prime. Got the marbling in there. We're gonna do a basic salt and pepper operation because that's all you need. Now, if this was lamb, then I would disguise it with like 80 spices because lamb is awful. Lamb is awful. And Star Wars, awful. And if you have those two together, you're gonna have a bad day. You know, a horrible day. It's like the worst movie franchise ever, Star Wars. And I don't know why they chose lamb to eat when you could have chicken, you could have steer, you know, a nice big bull, cut it in pieces and eat that. They chose lamb. Awful. So we got lamb. We got salt here from the Himalayan area, Himalayan mountains, I think in Pakistan, really more accurately. Should give Pakistan the credit. And then we have pepper from Nebraska. Today is hot. 89 degrees right now. Humidity is low, but it just feels hot. So we flip it over. I let them sit out for a bit so that the temperature is not cold in the middle, and then you got the outside cooking and the inside not cooking. Although the inside for us is going to be pink because we like them rare, medium rare. I'll eat it raw, but I don't want to get sick. All right. Let them sit for a minute. I have premium grapefruit juice, not from concentrate. Concentrate is where they dry it out and you get the dust particles, and then you just reconstitute it by adding water. This is not done that way. This is squeezed, and a little cat there. And then they put it in a container. So I don't want to touch it with the raw meat on my fingers, so go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, very hot, especially when you're in the sun. In the shade, in the shade you have to, you'll enjoy it more in the shade.
Wait, did you shake it?
Shake it up. I shook it, but you can never shake enough. The only thing I don't shake is water. Because if I shake water, I'll separate it, and there'll be hydrogen on one side and oxygen on the other. So, you know, I never understood that about water. Made from hydrogen and oxygen, yet it puts out fires. Delicious. I'm sure there's a logical explanation. I have to look it up, but you know, when you have hydrogen and then you have oxygen in the same mixture, and then you use that to put water out with, it doesn't make any sense. I think the hydrogen in there would ignite or make the fire explode. So I'm going to put this on the fire. But
I don't know, what is it?
that's for tea. Leave it.
Can I cook it?
In a minute. Oh man. I was thinking a minute ago about a situation that happened to me when I was little in school. So I got up from lunch earlier than everyone, and I had a pen. I removed the bottom part, the ballpoint part, and I was dripping ink, drop, drop. And with the drops of ink on the carpet below my desk, I put my name in there. drop, made a nick out of it. And I go, that's gonna look cool when it dries. And it's my desk here, under my desk, so it'll be cool. And I'm sitting there, and there were three of us there. Me, a kid named Anthony, and a girl named Lori. Lori was next to me. Anthony was kind of across me diagonally, not too far though, a few feet. And all of a sudden my teacher comes in, and his eye, like a laser beam, concentrates on the carpet with my name written into it with drops of ink. And he goes, "Who did that?" And then I'm thinking, who do you think did that? Under my desk has my name. So the next day we were going on a field trip. It was a Friday. Friday was Thursday. And he said to me, "You're gonna come in tomorrow, and I don't know how you're gonna do it, but you're gonna do it." He goes, "You're gonna find something that's gonna remove that ink, otherwise you're not going on the field trip." So I was like, I want to go on the field trip. So that day I went home, and my father had different chemicals in the basement for painting. You know, he had paint thinner, he had lacquer thinner, he had lighter fluid, all that stuff down there. So I took that and I put it aside. Then I went up to the pharmacy. We had a local pharmacy. The pharmacist knew us because that's who we would go to when we had a prescription to fill. You know, like when you're a kid and you have a cough, they give you that nice grape medicine. I don't know if they still have that. And so I went up there, and the old guy, the pharmacist, was there, and I said, "Hey, you have anything that removes ink?" And he goes, "Sure." So he went over and he found me this little glass bottle, and it had ink remover on it, and it showed a guy removing ink off of some surface area, you know, a table or something. So I bought that, but I wasn't satisfied. I wasn't sure. So I mixed that with all the other chemicals in the basement. It's a good thing I didn't have an explosion happen. And I went into school the next morning, bright and early. I told the guy downstairs, "Let me go up, I have to do some cleaning." So I went up with my concoction, and my friend Anthony, he was up there already. And he thought it was funny that I went home and mixed up some kind of chemical, you know, formula. And anyway, I took this chemical formula and I put a ton of it on the rug, thinking instantly the ink would come off. And I had a rag with me, and I rubbed it back and forth, and all I noticed was that the ink was just smudging, just smearing it, you know, just smudging it all over the place. And the more I rubbed it in, the more it made nothing more than a blur of my name, but it didn't remove anything. And I'm like, I'm not going to the field trip. I'm not going on this field trip. So I did my best. The room smelled like lighter fluid. And around 8 o'clock, the teacher came in, and he didn't say anything to me, but I'm sure he glanced down at the rug and saw that I tried to take it out. And he never mentioned, "Hey, you didn't take that out, you're not going on the field trip," because that was an empty threat. You know, he couldn't do that. Right? He couldn't. I mean, I guess he could, but it was more of a hassle, and he wasn't that type of guy. So for the following 6-7 months that were left in school, under my desk was a smudge mark of ink, and you could still see it said Nick. But my friend Tony, Anthony, he never stopped mentioning how funny he found it that I brought in this chemical brew and tried to, you know, he would tell everybody, he goes, "Nick over here," he goes, "brought in some chemical concoction," and he tried to take the ink out, and he'd laugh about it. That was a long time ago. I'm sure if I ran into him today, he would remember that story. Anyway, we gotta cook. So go ahead, you can put it up on the on the grill. All right, we are back. Steak is done, so we're gonna start eating. I have some steak sauce. I've never had their steak sauce. I've had their insanity sauce, and the insanity sauce is crazy hot. This one is not hot, so I'm gonna try a little bit. Isabella may try if she wishes. First I try without the sauce. Juicy. Then I try with the sauce. Good. How was it?
Good.
How's the sauce?
It's really good.
Watching that show alone, I didn't realize it was on, but somebody left a comment on one of my videos saying that the new Alone series is out, or the episodes are out. So, and I'm kind of glad I didn't know about it, because now I have a bunch of them to watch, and I've been watching them in bulk, and it's more satisfying than waiting a week to see another one. But every year that show is on, the contestants are better and better and better. These people are good hunters. Although accidents happen, guy stabbed his leg with an arrow. They had to take him off. But I'm a big fan of the show, and I wish they would release them in bulk, because I would see them in one day. One of the guys killed the moose, which I would never do. First of all, I don't know how to hunt. I've never hunted in my life, but I can fish, and a moose is just way too big to store the meat. And at the time he killed the moose, the temperature was in the 50s.
It was like 47.
Yeah, but at one point it was like 50. So that's not cold enough for the meat to stay, good. It'll spoil on him, and then he'll get sick. And not only that, moose is huge. It's like 600 pounds of meat. And so I wouldn't waste that. That's a waste. I would just fish, or maybe the occasional sparrow. Keep your eye on the sparrow when the going gets tough and narrow. But I would generally stick with the fish. Get the fish, and then these guys, they'll get a fish, a pike, and then they hang around by the water showing off. Look what I got, look what I got. And meantime, the thing's alive. It does a little wiggling, falls out of their hands, and gets in the water and gets away. So, you got the fish, go back 30, 40 feet. Survive on fish, not moose.
Do you think you could build a shelter?
I'd build a shelter. I can build a shelter. One of the guys built a fortress. He cut tree trunks and made them into like a pyramid. But not just any tree trunk. These are thick, big trees. Like, burnt a lot of calories to get that done. But if there's any bears chasing them, he can get in there. Bears cannot get in that system. That's heavy duty. But just kind of like overkill. Anyway, we're gonna eat here, so no need for you to watch us.